Now, the common myth is travel industry is a very difficult industry to be in, or the future is not looking very bright.
We are paying sufficient is good enough as compared to any industry standard.
For people who lost their jobs in COVID, they started their own companies.
For travel industry, basically manpower is machinery.
So we just have to cope up with the times and the technology.
That's
But the
vanilla.
moment there is a complicated itinerary, he
Yeah.
requires a
hand-holding.
professional, he requires somebody to actually guide him.
I always felt that training is one of the key things. If you can train the people right, you don't have to work again.
So the pitch has changed this time. MTF has gone beyond cricket. It has gone to ignite minds. And if you know, it's called the spark. So my question is, do you have the spark in you? Do you think you have the bandwidth to get into some serious brainstorming, to understand what this industry is all about? Because the travel and tourism industry is not about glamour. It's about a lot of grit behind the scenes. And it's just not about the youth. It's about the entire fraternity coming together to look forward, to move into the world of technology, and most importantly, to ignite minds, to ignite each other's consciousness. We have with us Team MTF. Of course, Mr. Pradip Saaboo, Mr. Sameer Karnani, and Mr. Rajat Bagaria. They are putting together Spark with an intent, a clear intent, to have conversations of meaning. And we at Reemarkabl believe in meaningful conversations. Pradip, you have moved on from the pitch of cricket to a pitch right here in Jai Hind College, an educational institution. Spark for me is all about education. Pradip, what's your view on this whole experience?
So, all three of us having been in the industry for so long, I think this was just about time we give back to our industry. What we've earned so much from our industry in terms of knowledge, experience, money, goes without saying. Jai Hind College is where I started and did my education. So this place is also very close to me. Not that it was chosen because of that, but nevertheless. So it was our time to give back to our industry. We all know our industry faces a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, a lot of issues which come time and again for various reasons. But we also have to acknowledge that each one of us are here where we are, in spite of all these challenges, in spite of all these problems. Now, the common myth is travel industry is a very difficult industry to be in, or the future is not looking very bright. But let me tell you, each industry has its own problems. And if you have to compare the problems of other industry, I think we are much, much better. And we have no reason to complain. So this is the thought process we want to be flown down to the generation which has joined the industry and which is waiting to join the industry.
Beautiful.
That is the whole idea of the brainstorm session that we want to do. So we have chosen some of the best industry stalwarts who will share their life experiences, and we invite all the Mumbai travel fraternity to be part of this event, which is going to open our minds with thoughts, and also there is going to be an open session where they can express their thoughts and take views from our industry experts.
Wow. So there's a lot, you've said in this 1 minute, you've given us so much of insight about the fact that this industry is a living industry. People saying, okay, travel and tourism is going to be passé. But Rajat, do you think it's going to be passé? Because I completely see you having faith in your industry still going strong.
The industry is definitely going to survive. In the past 30 years when I have been in the industry, we have changed, we have migrated from a lot of things, from paper ticket to e-ticket and now to mobile tickets. So we just have to cope up with the times and the technology. It is not going to be passé. Travel is becoming more and more important now. So we just have to rework, replan our strategy. And what happened during COVID was there was a lot of flight of talent from the trade. So
Yes,
this is
it
something
was.
which is important, that we are trying to generate an interest, not only in ourselves, our friends, but also in their colleagues, the people who are working. So it does not necessarily mean that your owner's child has to be in the industry.
Yeah.
It also means the staff has to allow their children also to come into the industry.
Right.
So it is not only one man which will make the show.
Yeah.
We have to use the technology, and maybe with a lesser staff strength, we have to work better.
Right.
So we are definitely not passé. We are there, and we are going to survive and do good.
Super. Sameer, I have a thought in my head. You know, we always talk about unity. How important it is to genuinely play the word unity in the truest sense of the word, because I think an industry that stays together, plays together, flourishes together.
The company itself will actually say a lot about it. MTF is basically Mumbai Travel Fraternity, so we are getting the whole community together.
Correct.
So definitely you cannot build, one person cannot build the whole industry. So you need people around, you need people to actually be together and grow together.
AI के through भी travel के अंदर आ सकते हैं.
जी.
So there have been a lot of apps which have come in where AI has been used very effectively for the travel trade.
Yeah.
So I think apart from आप जो भी कर रहे हो, travel trade is not a small industry. It is a sizable industry. It is an industry which even the government is looking at for generating revenues.
One game changer concept that you want to share with us, and which maybe Spark will take
I mean,
forward.
even when I was with an association, I always felt that training is one of the key things.
Wonderful.
I mean, if you can train the people right, you don't have to work again. Importance is that you have to work the number of years that is required. You have to train yourself first, train your team, and keep learning.
Perfect. And Pradip, it's a very sensitive question, but it's a fact and it's a reality. What about brain drain? People are training, people are quitting this industry, and everyone's saying staff is an issue, staffing is an issue. Pradip, what's your scene on that?
For people who lost their jobs in COVID, they started their own companies. So what used to be 100 companies are now 300, because most of the people who were jobless that time have started their own companies.
Wow.
So I don't believe that really the people have left the industry, only that the industry is rearrange the kind of staff force. But last 6 months or so, I see again a new crop of executives and a new crop of professionals come back into the industry, and having joined back the industry in terms of looking into their future. So next 6 months to 1 year, I think the staff shortage will slightly cool down, to what I understand.
Wonderful. So you're saying you can see a tracking
the
back.
last 6 months, yes.
There's a tracking back happening of staff coming in.
No, new crop also.
New crop coming
and
in.
new professionals coming in.
And Sameer, what about salaries, please? Are we paying enough
I think we are paying,
to get the right kind of talent?
I think we are paying sufficient.
Really? How nice. Okay.
In fact, there's been a lot of debate. We've been debating ourselves also that are we doing the right salaries, because the kind of salary that we are paying for the time that people are spending in the office is good enough as compared to any industry standards.
Wow.
And I see for travel industry, basically manpower is machinery, and we definitely need to overhaul our machinery and keep them in good shape.
And my last question, Pradip, do you think, I've seen a lot of youth today, maybe, young corporates doing their own bookings, figuring out on the internet and fixing their travel. Do you think it's going to affect us?
The overall pie has grown, multiplied rather, and if few of those travelers are doing their bookings on their own, it wouldn't reduce our job or our work as such, because the pie is growing.
Wonderful.
See, it is very easy doing a normal destination like a Bombay, Dubai, Bombay.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do it online.
Yeah, that's
But the
vanilla.
moment there is a complicated itinerary, he requires a
hand-holding.
professional, he requires somebody to actually guide him.
I just hope people really get that. Yeah.
But they do. In
Uh-huh.
fact, we've seen a lot of kids who've actually been booking those small sectors, but the moment it is complicated, they've been coming to us.
So as you've seen what they've said, Rajat Bagaria, Sameer Karnani and Pradip Saaboo, they clearly mentioned that training is critical, working together is non-negotiable, and most importantly, this industry is here to make money. It is an industry that is forward-looking and an industry where the pie is growing. And interestingly, it's also an industry that's here to stay. So let's keep the conversations going, meaningful, deep, and sensible.